Hello, YouTube. We're here today to talk about this. This is the Trigger Tech Ace Trigger. This is a pre-production version that I have in this here Glock 47. I've had it for a little while. I've been shooting it. I've used this gun as a loaner a few times. And I try to be cool and loan guns to people sometimes if they seem all right.
This is true. I loan out guns once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like it's a way for me to see how the gun does. I don't usually care too much if a gun breaks. I mean, not that this one has, but yeah.
I'm actually only interested like if it malfunctions or does anything weird, please tell me.
Yeah.
And that was because I'm curious. Be like, hey, what type of ammo were you shooting? What were the conditions?
Yes.
Okay. Otherwise, I don't care.
Yeah, there you go. Because I got plenty of guns, and I know a guy that can fix my guns for me, so it's.
You don't care if something happens.
No, it's fine. I know the right people. It's not like it's any work.
If it's the right people, you just know a person.
Yeah, I know the right people. All right.
It's all who you know.
It's all about who you know. So
Family business.
the trigger that I've the trigger here has been, I would say, rock solid. Because it's a lighter striker spring as well that's in there. So the gun, it doesn't pop really hard frangible primers like lead-free, non-tox frange ammo. That's the only thing that it hasn't wanted to pop every time. That's no different than any other trigger system. As soon as I go to a lighter striker spring, like that ammo is like, I'm going to see a problem with that specific ammo. Everything else I've shot through it, it's popped everything. It hasn't, it has not, to me, like presented any problem. The feel of the trigger over time, it has not changed.
So let's talk about it. I think you'd call it a rolling break.
This
is fair.
No, I would
call it more crisp.
I would say it makes the normal Glock feel. I mean, normal Glocks, I mean, they do have a rolling break. Maybe there's so little travel. It's hard for me to think of it that way.
Okay, it's fair.
Yeah. What else would you say about it?
So the reset, the take up, that's probably the other stuff people care about.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the properties of it, the take up, now it's taken up to the wall.
There's not much.
Now it breaks, and you could see very little over travel. I mean, that's the very dramatic shift here. Is there's just very little travel with the trigger.
This is a trigger for people that don't like Glock triggers.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. Like, it is a very dramatic change.
There's probably only one thing worth talking about is that you have to modify the gun, which some people really care. Some people don't. I'm not going to get a good angle that'll serve it justice.
You can see it. You get a new back plate.
There's a new back plate, and there's a little chunk back here that you have to cut off, which is a pocket knife, a razor.
It's the same thing that
some people really don't like that.
I don't like the idea of it.
Sure.
But they put that there to stop you from installing switches.
Oh.
That's why that little bit is there, apparently.
Oh.
I guess it didn't work all that well, so they're gonna have to go harder.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Some people really don't like modifying their gun. Even if you went back to their system, it's not gonna be like have something come out and hit you in the face and be a problem. But
yeah,
some people don't like that you have to modify the frame.
Yeah. So anyway, I haven't had a problem with the trigger as I've been shooting it. That'd be the big concern. Like, to me, if you have like a really racy or on the edge type of product, you think that if you use it over time, potentially something's going to change and it's going to stop working. That has not been the case here. It's worked fine for me. It's worked fine for everybody that I've loaned it to. I've shown the gun to a bunch of people, like pro firearms instructors at different agencies or institutions, that type of stuff. Anybody that looks at it, they're like, whoa, it's a very interesting product just because it's such a dramatic change. Whether you like it or whether you don't, I mean, whatever. But again, like, that's what I would say is like people are very interested in taking a look at it and playing with it. I have definitely seen a lot of that. As far as my own shooting or what I've gotten out of it, there's so little travel in the trigger that I feel like I'm trying to shoot the gun with like very, very, very little input, similar to the feeling I have when I shoot a 2011. That's how I feel when I shoot this Glock now.
The other part you should bring up is how much it costs. It's not an inexpensive trigger.
Well, this isn't on the market yet.
Well, the normal triggers they sell are what? I think $275.
Are they right? Really? Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't know.
I know you wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know.
It's not an inexpensive setup. So that's the only other part.
It's super expensive, kind of.
Yes. It's not a cheap setup. but the trigger is quite good. So
Um,
but we should also compare it.
you want to
Little
compare it to
compare
the
and contrast.
dynamic trigger?
Yeah.
Well, I think the Walther dynamic trigger, this one, I think it's fair to say like this is,
On the market, that's probably the best OEM trigger.
yeah, I think
Like
that's,
there's nothing else that comes close.
I think that's totally fair. And it's, again, it's like, it's racy enough that I almost can't believe they send it out this way. One of those.
It's very good.
All right. So compared to the Trigger Tech Ace trigger, you can see a lot
There's more
take up.
Uh-huh.
There's more take up. There's a little more weight to it as you push through the wall, and about the same over travel, I would say. So it's like best of breed OEM race trigger on a striker fired pistol.
Yeah.
All right, fair to say.
Maybe that one's a tick lighter.
This is a tick lighter
A
and
bit more take up here, but it's pretty comparable.
I think most trigger nerds would say the Trigger Tech hands down is better.
Okay.
They're comparable, but the Trigger Tech one is better.
Good to pick one better. Sure. That's
Yeah.
fair.
All right. Let's go to your comments. I put a picture of the trigger up on Instagram to get some comments from you guys to see what you had to say. All right. It looks really cool. That's what matters. I guess that's fair. I like the look of it.
It is a
Flat, a little red in there. Right. When is it being released? That I don't know. It's still pre-production. And since I've gotten this one, Trigger Tech has sent me another email with another version of the safety dingus on the trigger. So I don't know what the release schedule looks like or what all is coming, that whole thing. All right. I got one good trigger, just like Walther PDP Pro. It was a good comparison we got going here, right?
Fair.
Short and crisp, but we'll need more maintenance, just like PDP and others. We'll use for competition for sure, but for CCW, I like OEM or Apex better. Okay, so this is an interesting comment. I should tell you from a maintenance perspective, the only thing that I've done with this was I field stripped the gun and I wiped off like the trigger components in here. And it was just so I could see through the dirt, like see what the trigger looked, because I wanted to show it to somebody.
Okay.
And there's like an Allen key adjustment inside of here that you add in when you add this trigger. And I just wanted to show that to a guy. I have done no maintenance on this aside from wiping it one time in the space of thousands of rounds. Maybe there's some issue. Maybe you need to do something different. But I'm just telling you, like for me, like I haven't done a fucking thing as far as trying to keep it clean or do maintenance.
And from the PDP side, it's the same thing. I don't really like. You could take the slide off and put a little bit of oil just on the little rails that contact the slide or whatever. But
do you have to do that with the PDPs?
I don't think you have to. I do that once in a while if I have it apart. Otherwise, the guns just work. They're not.
I don't think I've even, the
poly guns you
the
have.
poly PDPs, like I have barely field stripped those things.
Yeah,
I haven't done anything.
With the metal gun where it's metal on metal, yes, you need to lubricate it. With these, you don't have to do any of that stuff. Not with the trigger or like the barrel or anything like that.
All right. One guy, it makes me want to try a Glock again. And that, to me, this trigger, makes me interested in racing out striker-fired pistols.
Sure.
To me, that's where I'm like, man, I could, get the weight and the balance and the everything just perfect. And it's kind of tempting to see what you could do with it. That's how I feel.
Sure.
All right. I carry the original Ace for duty and EDC and haven't shot my wiener off yet. I dig it. There's a positive review for you.
There you go.
Does it do the things in my Ben Seger voice? Yeah, it does the things. This trigger does the things. One guy says 1911 trigger. He's making a laughing emoji. Now, I don't know. I've had enough trigger time on 2011s at this point. Is this a 2011 trigger? No. Is it comparable? Yes, it is. It's not the same thing. It's not the same feel. But as far as performance dynamics, it's very comparable. All right, Ace trigger on a Glock or Apex on a Smith & Wesson. This version of the Ace trigger is way racier than the Apex that I have on my Smith & Wesson. But you didn't even change springs, did you?
No, we did put the lightest springs in.
Are you sure?
That's what John, we looked at the directions. Well, when John did it.
All right, I'm waiting for them to come back in stock since you said it's the trigger for people who hate Glock triggers. That is a bold statement. It's not a bold statement. I'm just going to tell you, it is dramatically different than Glock triggers, which I don't hate. I like Glock triggers, all right? It's like that rolling break, type of thing. It's a little bit different deal than this trigger, but it's like I don't hate Glock triggers, but you have to acknowledge again, it is very different.
Yeah, I mean the weight overall is different. The face of the trigger is flat, so it feels different. The overshot, like all this stuff, it's just a different category than what a regular Glock trigger is.
All right, here we go. I hope it works on behalf of the aftermarket and USPSA gangs. It's hard to tell people Glock is the best when nobody can make a reliable trigger other than the stock trigger. All right, that's to me is a crazy opinion. Tons of people make aftermarket triggers for Glocks, and lots of them are reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that I don't understand what that guy's talking about. Couldn't tell you. One guy says they still haven't sent me the legal one. And like I said, I think they're still ironing out exactly what the design is going to be. All right. It's interesting. I don't plan to buy one personally, but that could change if the newer version is reliable and drop safe. I haven't, like, strictly speaking, tried dropping this one, but I don't. It's not going to be the same as the one that you guys had that one go wild in your class.
Yeah, we did have one in class that had a little issue, but I'd have to look at my phone the exact. But it was like an aftermarket frame, an aftermarket slide. It was metal magazines. It wouldn't do it with polymer magazines. So it was a little bit of a perfect storm, honestly.
Yes. All right. I think it's got legitimate competition from the Apex tactical trigger and Glock performance trigger. I doubt they're as good, but you can get them to a place where you're already at the point of diminishing returns on trigger press being the limiting factor in performance. Now, I wouldn't characterize it that way. Like I would view this as a different product to like the Apex triggers or tactical trigger, or even the Glock performance triggers, like especially the second gen ones.
Hmm.
This is like a competition specific race product that I wouldn't tell anybody, like, oh, yeah, you should buy that and you should carry it, dude. Like, I wouldn't say that to
Probably
anyone.
not.
It's a different product, whereas like the Apex stuff and other things, like I think those are different.
I agree.
All right, it's too forward set for me. I have a standard co because it reduces the length of pull a noticeable one. Yeah, so that is one thing to point out. You can see where the engagement on the trigger is, the distance backstrap to trigger face. It is definitely further forward, for example, than like the Apex here, which engages much further back. Or here we have a stock. I have a stock shoe in this one. Again, the engagement is much further back if you measure backstrap to face of the trigger. It's a fair point to me. That was one of the, it's like that's the biggest learning curve deal about this trigger to me, is just that it sits in a different place.
What part of your finger do you use on that trigger? Do you use the first joint?
Kind of, yeah. Not quite, but I'm a little bit on the fly, but just because it's further, I can't quite reach it.
That makes sense. That's the other interesting part with Glock triggers, just as a side note. The different shoes and how far like the reaches the trigger changes where people want to contact the trigger with.
Yeah. So I don't know, like I said, to me, like my opinion hasn't shifted too much. Like I shoot this and now I'm kind of like, yeah,
It's cool.
race striker. I was kind of talking about it today. I was like, I should just build out this Glock, build out the M&P that I have, and build out a PDP and just see which one, like when I modify the shit out of it, see which one I like the best.
Yeah, so it means doing like one of the comps where it's the Radian, like the Ramjet or the Parker Mountain comp, whatever, like a single or a dual port comp. You could do what else?
Uh,
Change the recoil springs, maybe. You could
I
have.
mean, change the spring, change the guide rod to add weight. I don't know that I'd want to do that in a Glock, but anyway, just like take the gloves off and just modify the shit
That'd be
out of
fun.
it. Might be fun. That's what this trigger gets me thinking about. So anyway, I don't know. I'll keep shooting it. I might let Joel shoot it. He might have some opinions about it.
Sounds like a plan.